And what is up, my magic miscreants? Risen Dragon here for our final video of 2021. Man, what a year it has been for Magic Arena. What a year it has been for Magic total. I mean, we've had some amazing sets come out for Standard. You know, Kaldheim with its Scandinavian theme, Strixhaven with its Harry Potter theme, Forgotten Realms with its D&D theme, which I absolutely love and still do love, and both Innistrad sets. Man, what a year. What a year. Great sets, in my opinion. I mean, probably an unpopular one, but I don't really care because this is the last video that we have for 2021, and it is Azorius Spirits. Now, the big thing about this deck is the fact that it is rather flexible. It's got some control, it's got weenie build, it's got a lot of flexibility with some of the cards that we have in place. So let's see what we have, and let's get into some gameplay. Portable Hole, let's start off with that. It is an artifact. It exiles target non-land permanent and opponent controls a mana value 2 or less until it leaves the battlefield. Great for some early drops. Stonebinder's Familiar is going to go with the few cards that we have in this particular build, because whenever one or more cards are put into exile during your turn, you put a +1/+1 counter on it, but it only triggers once per turn. Usher of the Fallen, a spirit, gets us some tokens out there. Ascendant Spirit, one of my favorite cards from Kaldheim. Again, with a snow build, tap 2 and it becomes a Spirit Warrior, base power, toughness 2/3. Excuse me. If it is a warrior, then you tap 3 and then you put a flying counter on it, and it becomes a Spirit Warrior Angel with base power and toughness 4/4. And then you tap 4 if it's an angel, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and it gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Really flexible card. It's kind of one of those early threats. It can get big if your opponent doesn't check it out. Okay, Syncopate, some counter spells in there, but the best part about this is if they can't pay the X cost, then you put it into the owner's graveyard instead of, or you exile it instead of putting it into your owner's graveyard. Valorous Stance, target creature gains indestructible until end of turn, or destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater. Great addition to this deck. Spectral Adversary, you can, when it comes into play, it's got flash and it's got flying. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, 1 in a blue, you put that many +1/+1 counters on it, and then up to that many other target artifacts, creatures, and or enchantments phase out. Test of Talents, really great card to have. Counters instant and sorcery spells. Then we search the graveyard, library, hand, and the opponent exiles them. Then if you're exiling from the hand, then you have to, then they'll draw cards and then they shuffle their library. Faithbound Judge, really cool card at the beginning of your upkeep. If it has 2 or fewer judgment counters on it, put a judgment counter on it. So long as it has 3 or more, it can attack as though it doesn't have Defender. The cool part about this is if it dies, we can pay its disturb cost, and at the beginning of your upkeep, put a judgment counter on Sinner's Judgment. Then if there are 3 or more judgment counters on it, the enchanted player loses the game. So if it would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it. So we got to be careful with this one because we don't want to enchant ourselves. We want to enchant the other person. So that's what we want to do there. We have Skyclave Apparition. This gets rid of things. I love this card. I mean, seriously, this is in every single white build that I have. Doesn't matter if it's a life gain or a control build. I've got this card in there. It's just really great because when it comes into play, you exile a target non-land, non-token permanent with mana value 4 or less, and then when it leaves the battlefield, yes, they get a 4/4 illusion, but at least we're not dealing with something like a Binding of the Old Gods or something like that. Anyways, Patrician Geist. Other spirits get +1/+1. We're not running any flashback cards, so the secondary thing doesn't really come into play here, but even still, great card to have. It buffs up our creatures. So we're also running some of our man lands, so to speak. We got Cave of the Frost Dragon, Hall of the Storm Giants. We're also running Faceless Haven because we are running 12, actually technically 16 snowlands. Let's check out our sideboard. One more Test of Talents in there. Borrowed Time in case, we can always swap out, a Valorous Stance or even a Test of Talents if they're not running a ton of instants or sorceries. Expel, just exile target tapped creature. Fading Hope, Also, we're throwing in Selfless Glyph Weaver in there, just in case they're running mass removal, we can just throw it in. So I think this deck is really cool. It's won us a bunch of games. The rankings restarted, so we're back into bronze, which is kind of okay because, you know, I kind of like that. This channel, for those of you, if this is your first time, it's geared more towards lower level beginner players, and I think that, you know, the mission of this channel is basically to kind of play at that level, so to speak, so that, you know, we can see how our decks perform. But anyways, also for those of you that are new to this channel, we play a best of 1 and then we play a best of 3, just so you can see how the deck works in each of those environments, and you can figure out which format suits you best. So without further ado, let's get into the games. We are against Samson. Give me a Duel of the Dragons. This one's a tough one. We don't have any of the blue, but I think we're going to keep, simply because we can put down some threats early on. And we'll see what Samson does. Okay, Voldaren Epicure. Okay, so we're going to get pinged. Okay, perfect. Now the question becomes, I think we're going to do this. Stasher of the Fallen, maybe give them a target to work with, and then we throw down some. And we'll just see where we go from there. All right, so we're against mono red. Okay, we could be against mono red here. That's okay. Take a little bit of damage. Down to 16. That's okay. 17. I can't maths today. The cool part is now we get into... We can do Portable Hole. I want to do Portable Hole. Can take that. If we're against mono red, I think we're... I mean, they'll probably play with fire on this. Oh, not. Okay. And when I said we're down to 16, that's exactly what we're going to be down to. So, okay, Castle Dracula. So this is clearly a Vamps build. Voldaren Bloodcaster, Falconwrath Pitfighter. Okay, so this is basically a big old vampy build. And a Portable Hole is going to go real nice with a few things. Because here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And we're just going to go from there. Now they're going to swing in probably, and we'll just throw down our Spectral Adversary, I think. I think we'll just take it. We'll just take it. Wait till we're out of instant range, maybe? Yeah, we'll throw down a Spectral Adversary. Okay, nothing's going to phase out, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. Faithbound Judge will come in. This will be an okay time for us. There we go. Nice big beefy defender there. I like it a lot. Because if they have Demon Bolt, I'm going to be a very sad person, but we'll see what they do. So, pretty even matchup here. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, excuse me. Been fighting a upper respiratory sort of thing happening lately. I've tested -3 times for COVID, so, okay, 2 damage to each. Yeah, that's no fun. Pit Fighter's gonna swing in. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Scottclave Apparition. Do I want to... Yeah, let's do this. Let's do Patrician Geist, because I'm really not a huge fan of throwing down the Apparition. I think I'm going to waste 2 spells to get rid of my Faithbound Judge. That's the next question. They've got a ton of blood tokens. They're thinking about it. They are thinking about it. They are thinking. So let's see what they do. Anji. Okay. So I think what we do is this. We do put down the blood, the Skyclave. We take Anji. I hope they don't have anything, like, too expensive next turn, because we can definitely wreck next turn. We do have a Syncopate ready to go. Man, that Faithbound Judge is just an absolute beast in this deck. And that was a new addition. This is really the first time I'm playing this deck with the edits that I made. So this is going to be a very good test for that. Or do they just start to burn through their blood tokens? I guess. Maybe. Well, clearly they've got something. Alright, well, I can't syncopate that because they could just pay the mana cost, so I'm okay with that. And now they can't use their blood tokens, so now what we can do... Oh, we can do this. So there it is. We target that player. And we just swing in. Excuse me. Do we block? No, we don't. I think we're just going to take it. Okay. No fun at all. How did that happen? Alright, well, Faceless Haven's gonna come in. And we'll swing in for that. Now, this is gonna be tricky. We may not survive this, but... In fact, we're definitely not gonna... Well, we might. I don't know. We'll see. And we can syncopate that because... We can definitely syncopate that. Now, oh, Spectre... Oh, yes! Maybe. Yes, I think we can do it. I think we can. Because we throw this down at instant speed. These phase out. So that's going to phase out. We are going to have to block with one. We might be able to... If they've got an instant spell, we're done. But... Okay, so they could find something here. Okay. Okay. Maybe not. What did they find? What did they find? Of course, I don't like the way the auto-tapper tapped that, but... Okay, we have to block this. Okay, so I mean, if they've got to play with fire and we take it to the dome, we're done. But... If we don't... Let's see what happens here. Never mind my dog. There's someone outside. Okay, well, let's see what they find. Oh, does any other content creator go through this where all of a sudden, like, their kid or their animal will suddenly need, like, all the attention in the world? 'Cause I don't know. Alright, so let's see. Do they have anything? Do they have anything? Are we going to win this game? Are we going to win this? Dang it! They had it! Are you serious? Good game. Good game. We are against Wintaz for a best-of-3 matchup with our Azorius Spirits build, and this is a keep. We got some excellent curve out here, I think. We just have to be careful because we want to throw down Cave of the Frost Dragon first, and then we throw down the Spectral Adversary after that, and then eventually a Faithbound Judge. Alright, so we've got... I'm guessing this is going to be a... I'm guessing this is going to be an Orzhov control type build. Something sacrificial here. Okay. And there's someone walking by my house, so my dog is freaking out. Really, dog? Really? So we're not going to block this, but what we are going to do is kind of hold off on that. We're going to throw down the Faithbound Judge. We're going to hold off on the... I gotta say, Faithbound Judge, definitely a beefy character. I'm gonna let that through because if they've got Necrotic Fumes... Ooh, Portable Hole is always fun. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna Portable Hole the Eye Twitch. They'll probably... Oh, I thought for sure they were gonna cast... I thought for sure they were gonna cast that, spell with the, so here's what I thought. Oh, Deadly Dispute. What? Interesting. Okay. Sure, we'll take that. That's an interesting card. I don't think I've ever seen that card before. Yeah, let's go with it. Let's do this. It's not going to phase out, but what it will do is... they're going to look for... More than likely, they're going to look for something here. I'm guessing they're kind of land drained at this point, and they're about to be absolutely messed up. So I'm going to say, okay, bye. Excuse me. We can swing in for some fun damage. Now, if they've got, like, Shadow's Verdict, I'm going to be... This is a Mardu build? Okay. Well, what? Okay. Well, then. I think they're dead. This round, I think they're dead. Because now that gains that. This is going to gain this. They are just simply dead. Okay. Well, there we go. I have no idea what kind of build this is. I really have no idea. But I think we're going to keep with what we've got so far and see what they throw at us in the second game. This is a good one. Because what we can do is we can put down this. I didn't see a ton of instants, but what we can do is we can do this. Stonebinder's Familiar. We can at least get that down. I think Valorous Stance is definitely one of those techie, like... Okay, interesting. Interesting. Well, now we get this. And I think what we're going to do is... That's an instant. So what I'm going to do is this. Okay. I think I'm okay with that. Ooh, fun. Always a good decision. What we're going to do is this. We're going to take the Eye Twitch. Buff up our Familiar. We're going to take some more damage, which will bring us down to 15, but that's okay because what we'll do is we've got Portable Hole, which will take care of the Duelist. We've got Skyclave Apparition, which will take care of the, take care of that. Okay. Skyclave Apparition will take care of that, no problem. That gets bigger. And the Duelist will come in next. We are leaving ourselves open to something big, but... Okay, we're just gonna... I mean, we don't have a choice. We gotta take it. Now the question becomes, what do we throw down next? Another one. Interesting. Okay. So what we do is this. We throw down the Portable Hole. Grab that. We are going to put down the Ascendant Spirit. And we're just going to swing in and see what they do next. Test of Talents, we might have want to get rid of that. I haven't seen a ton of instant spells on their behalf, but that doesn't mean they don't have anything, because this looks like it's Doomscar territory right here. Silver Quill yeah. So there we go. Okay. This is an interesting build. I like this. I like the creativity, and this is what I love about bronze level stuff, is that this sort of thing is... Oh, we can't buff up the Spirit, but that's okay. You can get them down to quite a bit, and what we can do too is Valorous Stance. We can gain Indestructible, and we got him. All right, cool. Let's move on to the postmortem. So as you saw in that video, this deck is actually pretty boss. It's got a combination of aggro. It's got a little bit of control in there. It's got a little bit of everything. I think it's a really flexible build. It really fits my style of play. I like to have decks that are very flexible in nature, not just straight up aggro, but also, you know, there's some control stuff in there too. And I also do occasionally like the jank, and you're going to see some jank builds from me over the next few weeks. I'm currently working on a Witherbloom build excuse me, involving Skeletal Swarming and Maskwood Nexus, and lots of tokens with Scute Swarm and all those things. So I'm psyched for that sort of build, and I think at the level we're at, where again you don't lose a ton of rating points, it's fun to play around with stuff like that. I'm one of those people that, you know, when I find a deck I like, we go with it, and I will grind that all the way. Is this a deck we can grind on? Yes, absolutely. I really do think that this is a deck that we can that you can suit to your needs and suit to your style, and, you know, do some great things, especially at a lower level. But we're off to a great start in 2022. I'm really psyched for this. Over the coming weeks, I'm going to try my best to stay on top of, you know, maybe doing, you know, at least one video per week, probably on like a Sunday or weekend or stuff like that. If you've been following some of my other videos, my wife is starting grad school next week, and so I'll have a little bit of time to you know, have a little bit of downtime when the kids are, you know, occupied on their electronics and stuff. We're a game-oriented family, so I encourage that sort of thing. But anyways, this deck I hope really works for you. You know, tweak it, do what you need to. But until next time, my magic miscreants, may all your draws be godlike, may all your spells hit the board. Risen Dragon is out. Happy New Year, everybody.